Mr. Speaker, I stand in support of the bill, which seeks to make amendments to various pieces of legislation to empower the Land Transport Authority to improve active mobility and vehicular safety, and to enable the transition to the ERP 2.0 system. However, I have some questions and suggestions. Sir, first, I support the bill's proposal to strengthen regulation of personal mobility aids, preventing the misuse of PMAs by seemingly able-bodied individuals, tackling speeding, and restricting the use of overly large devices are good proposals by the Active Mobility Advisory Panel, and I'm glad that the government has adopted these recommendations. We must not compromise the safety of other path users, especially seniors and young children, when allowing active mobility devices to share our paths. Beyond the measures proposed, I would like to urge the government to do more to tackle the occurrences of fires caused by these active mobility devices. In my Radin Mas constituency, I've seen our fair share of fires caused by personal mobility devices, or PMDs. I understand that some of these fires were due to the use of unapproved PMDs, or in some cases, modifications to battery packs to improve the device's range. In addition to endangering themselves, the owners of unapproved or illegally modified devices can cause harm to their neighbors in the event that these devices catch fire. Electrical fires can spread far more rapidly, and the damage to surrounding HDB flats also tend to be more excessive. Sir, the bill proposes to make it an offense to keep non-UL 2272 certified e-scooters. I would like to ask if the same certification standard applies to all other forms of active mobility devices. According to a 2024 research article published in the Journal of Burn Care and Research, burn injuries related to lithium-ion batteries from PMDs can often be more severe than other types of burns due to the thermal runaway caused by such electrical fires. The British Safety Council has also issued a warning that once a chemical reaction causes thermal runaway, the lithium-ion batteries found in these PMDs could spontaneously ignite, and such fires are hard to extinguish. Members may also remember the unfortunate 2021 incident where a man died after his modified PMD burst into flames while he was inside a lift. This means that we do not need to be charging the batteries for them to catch fire. We must therefore do all we can to prevent people from possessing devices that have been illegally modified due to the risk of devastating electrical fires that can result in the unfortunate loss of lives. Sir, I also support the provisions in the bill related to Singapore's transition to the ERP 2.0 system. I would like to ask if the Minister could provide greater clarity on when the existing ERP gantries would be removed. I note that the LTA had previously said that these gantries would be progressively removed once ERP 2.0 begins. And I'm wondering if the Minister could provide more information on the timeline. Workers who travel extensively on our roads for their livelihoods are rightfully concerned about the impact of distance-based congestion pricing that would be enabled by the ERP 2.0 system. I urge the Ministry to consider in its implementation the disproportionate impact that distance-based congestion pricing would have on these workers and their livelihoods. Sir, the bill also proposes that vehicle owners, instead of drivers, would be responsible for unpaid ERP charges. Those with outstanding payments would be unable to transact with LTA on some essential services, such as road tax renewal, until the missed ERP charges are settled. And I think this is a sound move. However, in the event where the vehicle owner fails to renew his road tax due to outstanding ERP payments, and the driver, who is an employee, is unaware of this and drives the vehicle, who would be liable for the resulting offense? Should we therefore align the current framework to also hold the vehicle owner liable instead of the driver? Mr. Speaker, the proposals under the bill are timely in enhancing the safety of our roads and in reducing these amenities to other users who share our roads. I support the proposal to increase penalties for several road traffic offences, such as the illegal alteration of motor vehicles and taking to task those who allow illegal modifications to take place within their premises. I also support the proposal to increase penalties for keeping or using unregistered or deregistered vehicles. Absent from the stipulated vehicle inspections, these unregistered or deregistered vehicles can pose a safety risk to other road users. I would therefore like to ask, how many cases did the police investigate regarding the use of unregistered or deregistered vehicles on our roads in the past 3 years? And how do we intend to do better enforcement to catch the users of such non-registered vehicles? Can the ERP 2.0 system be used to monitor and locate these vehicles? And if so, would the police be able to use this system so that they can take prompt enforcement actions? Mr. Speaker, thus far I've spoken about my support for the bill and how I think the measures would improve the safety of our shared paths and our roads. I therefore thank the two ministries, MOT and MHA, for working on this comprehensive bill to make our roads and shared paths safer for everyone. However, in my view, this omnibus bill was a missed opportunity to strengthen legislation to improve worker safety. Sir, if you will indulge me, I would like to once again raise the plight of workers transported at the back of lorries. We have seen numerous traffic accidents involving workers being transported at the back of lorries happen over the years. More recently, an accident on the 28th January 2026, that's just last week, involving a lorry along Orchard Road, resulted in 12 workers being sent to the hospital. Thankfully, there were no fatalities. Accidents like this remind us time and time again that more needs to be done to improve the safety of workers being transported at the back of lorries. NTUC and the Migrant Workers Center have previously called for clearer restrictions on the commingling of workers with goods. Carrying passengers alongside goods and machineries is dangerous. When loads are not properly secured, workers face the risk of being struck or crushed during collisions or sudden braking. This is a foreseeable and preventable risk, and the commingling of goods and passengers should be prohibited by law. Ideally, we should use proper transportation, such as buses, to transport our workers to and from their work sites. In the meantime, we should at the very least mandate seat belts to protect passengers from being flung out of the vehicle in the event of an accident. Sir, I've been raising these key points about workers' safety, workers' transportation over the years, and I'll continue to do so at every opportunity. I therefore urge the government to adopt these proposals because the lives of every worker matters. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, the bill makes important legislative amendments to strengthen the safety of our active mobility landscape, helps reduce the risk of non-compliant devices catching fires within our homes, and is timely in aiding our transition to the new ERP 2.0 system. I hope the government would consider my proposals to strengthen enforcement against unsafe, deregistered vehicles from plying on our roads and to improve the safety of workers currently being transported at the back of lorries. Sir, notwithstanding that, I support the bill.